don't know what it, I can't find the little USB to plug the ring light in. So there will be no ring light tonight. No ring light. Sean's putting the babies to bed. If the color is super annoying, I'll just turn the heart off. But yeah, I don't know where the little hub is for it. Anyways, what's up, everybody? It's good to see you. It is 8:30 on a Thursday night. Since we are calling it the Thursday wrap-up, Thirsty Thursday wrap-up, then I figured we would do it accordingly. Hold on. I might have to restart it because it looks like, hold on. Because it's saying that there's an error, but who knows? Just bear with me a moment. Let me see. See, okay. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it like that though. I'm gonna leave it like that. Hey, Jocelyn, so I am live. That's good. How are you? I'm trying to, sometimes I can't find my way to our own stream. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Sean is putting the babies to bed. They are still awake. These ones are. So he's gonna go to the one outside, and it's so cute. He uses like a little net, and he gets the little bitty babies because they're in the bottom, and he picks them up and puts them in there. So that is, do you like the pink? That's cool because sometimes it gives like a glare. Jocelyn, these are the lights that you sent. I love them. I love them. I love them. Since it is Thirsty Thursday, hey Carlos, we're gonna do a little fun stuff. Carlos, did you say that CJ, that real stream, he said you started a rumor he was dead? Is that true? I had never even heard it, which goes to show you that no one was really paying attention to that. But did you? Always, Carlos. No, did you do that? Like, because I think it's not funny that he was presumed to be, deceased. It's if it was a troll move, and you would be the ideal one to do it. But he's back with no Carlos. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, but be good. Yeah, no, he said that CJ, who's Real Stream News, was on a panel today, his panel with MFW, and he was like, yeah, people thought I died or something. Carlos, did you say I died? And I was like, I've heard most of the time when those rumors go on, I'll hear that someone in the community has passed away. I never heard that one. So that was interesting. We went, the landlord was fixing the dishwasher today and doing teaching his son how to do some different things, like how to cut wood to change the crawl space door. And so he was showing, it was cool, but she was, yeah, I knew that. Wait. Okay, so don't hide your messages now, Carlos. So anyway, he was here all day, literally all day, and he's not quite shut. Yeah, he's literally not quite done. So he'll be back tomorrow, and it's cool. It's just I try to be away because Sawyer will bark the entire time. So Sean and I went and had dinner. Went to have dinner while they were finishing up. And the whole point of that is to say that we are not together. We don't have it together tonight like we normally do. You really put we have tonight's reading material. We have this right here. Look. So whoever sent it to us, thank you. Because we might just go to it. Right, Sean?
What's that?
This thing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it's interactive. We might go to
I can be
whatever.
the instructor for it.
Risk-free purchase. If it doesn't work for you, you will get your misery refunded times 10. Okay. I've said about all I can. I've carried it as long as I can. I've got to wait for someone to, I don't know how people do it by themselves all the time. You know what I mean? Like for like hours, because I could never do it. But y'all will be happy. Not, some of you will be happy because we're going to do a tiny bit of drama. If Sean never comes back. So it's Thirsty Thursday wrap up. And here's the interesting.
You have my phone over there?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay.
it's already.
You have everything you need to.
Yeah, I just didn't, the ring light. I don't have the thing for the ring light.
I'm gonna go get it.
Look, he's gone again.
And then we'll be good.
I know, right? Like I'm nervous, like I've never done this before, but I'm not nervous about doing the drama because tonight, if you, I posted something, was yesterday on Twitter that said, wait, period, for, period, it, period. And I said to those of you who know, watch how quickly Carlos, a whole scenario is spun up, and it's like they will think that I mean one thing or whatever. And so guess who bit? Sam bit. She's the one that took the reins and went ahead and tweeted and responded to it or whatever, and said that that I needed to, hold on, let me see, about my BFF being evicted. And I thought, who is she talking about? So I called who I thought she was or texted who I thought she was talking about. And I was correct, but there was much feedback offered about the eviction. And so I was like, and the person, Arabia wanted me to put it out there. She said, put this. And so I pasted all of the little responses to it. And that is kind of classic drama. But here's the thing.
Are we doing drama tonight?
I said we were going to do a little bit. I have known, for those of you, hey, Paula, y'all know that I've had my times with Sam. When drama community was brand new, we were friends, we had a falling out, we reconciled, and then the rest that you watched. I have never known her to be as paranoid as she is right now. So she's,
right.
Paranoid. She's living in her head, and it's not her normal.
The thing she's tweeting right now and the stuff that it's almost like she's beseeching people to tell her what's going on.
I guess.
It's like, you guys did it, but I've never seen her, and I won't even say shook, because it's not shook. Like, if you don't know anything, you just look at somebody, like if you were tuning into her for the first time, you would just think it was this very scatterbrained, kind of paranoid person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But knowing what all of us kind of know, right now, she is.
Yes.
She's all over the place. And I'm telling you, the sound bites that I've heard, the little sound bites, you can hear Yaba and Sam just chirping back at each other, just like bleeding back at each
kind
other.
Kind of maniacal.
Like, la 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 la. Tell them la 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 la. They're both
like maniacal.
They're very spun, and they're very they need to take it down a notch. I mean, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm like trying to give them advice. It's like, dude, you're fucking spun right now. And you're right. I've never seen her that way.
I've never seen her paranoid like this before.
Kind of like it, actually. It's kind of like,
yeah, I couldn't happen to a more deserving
or
person.
Someone that, you're right.
Yeah, but it's like ridiculous. And I don't honestly, and I know people say this, obviously people send me screenshots of what she says on Twitter, but I never see it myself because I have her blocked. I don't look at what she says. So to me, if you're going to respond to a tweet that someone who's blocked has you, right? Mm-hmm. And I did the same thing, like when I sent it back, but you guys know I try not to give it any fuel, because it's just it's just been going on for so long.
Mm-hmm.
But that was noteworthy that
It was
she
remarkable.
assumed it.
It
She
is
assumed it
remarkable.
had something to do with her, and it literally didn't.
It's like
It was nothing. It meant nothing.
if you go give a peek, like for me to like say this is interesting, and go take a peek at her Twitter with like a sock account or whatever, she's throwing these very paranoid tweets out there. It's almost like something trying to hit. Like she'll say something here, and then she'll say something. It's obvious she's got no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's I've never seen her to bother her like it's bothering her.
As a
It is
matter,
bothering her.
It is. I was going to say, as a matter of fact, I could read the response from Arabia, but I don't think it's on here. I'd have to log
You'd
into
have to
Twitter,
go onto
but
your
it's
own.
okay. But take a look on Twitter, and that's what we consider like old school OG drama, like before people called every day on body, but these
Right.
little tomato throwing things where someone says, starts the spark, and then someone else takes it, and that. But I don't know what else can, like, what other mood sort of, how would the pendulum spin a different way? Because it's kind of like we watched it happen to Katie, right?
Yeah, I did make that you've seen.
Katie was paneling up with Real Stream News.
I'm always amazed when I hear real stream news and that there's people that watch them. He is probably the scummiest person, just like literally the scum for what, not for like opinions. There's a lot of like conjecture. People tell stories, we know what the history is, and then you have another platform. Randy and Wendy are famous for changing history and beseeching their people with different trying to get people to believe something that we all watched happen over and over and over again. He comes on there and he did things that were so disgusting and so vile, and by bringing a young girl that he violated on panel to try to pressure her into
she was of age.
Yeah,
there's
but
not,
but she was she was of age, but still it was so
it was awful.
it was awful to
It
watch.
was awful.
But Katie we're talking about Katie, and she's on panel with him. If y'all remember Katie, Miss Fucking Wonderful from years ago, she built a channel and she would have kind of a following, and she could put several hundred people in the chat. She had some like power and and she kind of commanded a bit of, oomph when she did her streams. And then we've watched her, kind of cascade down into where she is now. We're seeing almost the same exact thing happening with Sam.
Yeah.
Sam is doing the same thing. And the ironic thing is they were both associated with Yaba. Yaba broke away from Katie, and Katie did her thing. Yaba did her thing, and they were both pretty, fairly successful. And then Katie has, made a series of decisions that has led to her downfall. Many decisions. Sam's the same way. The thing that is to have in common is that this right here, this screen, when they log on, their entire existence is here. Their entire validation, everybody's opinion, and what they spew is on YouTube. Sam is
Do you think
freaking out right now.
It's YouTube and social media 24/7 in their household? Do you think when they get off of this doing their fuckery, you think they talk about the weather, what's
No.
for dinner? You think it's YouTube 24/7?
I think that they're so paranoid right now. They know that no one feels sorry for them. They know that they got coming whatever's coming, and they're trying to somehow spin it. They have it, they're trying to spin things, and I think they have no idea what's really happening, and I think they're paranoid right now.
Well, and most people like she's always like saying, "Go ahead, take me to court, do whatever." Who wants to be taken
they
to
don't.
court?
It's
No,
almost
but I
like
mean,
it's almost like a false self-fulfilling prophecy.
Is that what it is?
Something like that. It's
weird.
Drama and legal trouble and problems and causing problems and having problems in their life is what the norm is for
Like
certain
their status.
people. I was in a relationship with someone that was like that all the time. If there was any levity, and levity was painful. Levity was not calm. So if there nothing bad was going on, they'd make it bad. They'd make
Yeah.
shit up to make it bad. And
When you
bad
get
is where they
used
live.
to, when you get used to living in a state of chaos, which is, it can be from different things, from substance abuse, a toxic relationship, whatever. But when you get used to living in that constant chaos and shitstorm, when things are calm and serene, you don't know what to do.
It's not.
People a lot of times will mistake it for severe anxiety, like just the calmness that everything's okay. Then they'll be like, okay.
The other shoe has to drop. It has to, because they
Right.
don't know how to function in a calm world.
Yeah.
It's like going into a college classroom or any kind of classroom where everybody's supposed to focus on something, and if it's not something
Hey, Justine.
that derails the teacher or derails the lesson, they will derail it.
Right.
And it's for a number of reasons. Some people demand attention,
I'm gonna
but the
put-
gaslighting. Yes, here's the gaslighting thing.
I'm gonna put the thank you, Dee, by the way. I appreciate that. I saw it when I was getting ready. That is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you,
Chicken
Dee.
stuff for baby chickens.
Yep.
So
We never take that for granted.
no, not at all, because we get to spoil our animals. Oh my gosh, you guys. The Glamorous Life passed away. Carlos can say, like, he knows more about it. He'll say it in the chat if he's still here, but at the last he said they thought it was a heart attack. So it's very
Whoa.
sad.
And I didn't really know. I used to get life, like you said, I used to get life perplexed. I used
did
to get
too.
Laura
Way before.
like 3-4 years ago when they were both on a lot. I used to get them confused, the Glamorous Life and Life Perplexed, I guess the word life or whatever.
Yeah.
But
It seems to be, someone said that things always happen in threes.
let's hope not, man.
But I mean, I don't know, like, the history of that, or if it's just a wise tale, or, yeah. Carlos, how old was she? I would say in her 50s, right?
I don't know.
I would say in her 50s.
I mean,
yeah, she's
you
been in
could
different
you guys
chats.
could put a picture of her up, and I may not recognize. It's just not somebody that I follow.
She had a lot of followers on Twitter.
I do know that.
Yeah.
I do know that if you'd go to her Twitter, she had a Twitter following.
I was gonna show the back of. I know most people have already seen it, but look at the back of my shirt.
She's got the Mrs. ATX shirt. Hold on, just do what you're doing.
It's Sean's got the Tomahawk shot. Is it just a Tomahawk, right? Because
It says Tomahawk on it.
isn't that cool? Presley sent those to us. We've showed them before, but isn't that super cool? Like, I love, and you know what's funny is, like, if I wear it out, people would be like, "What is the Mrs. ATX stand for?" I'm like, "You don't know?" No, I'm just kidding. I'm like, it's a username online, and they'll be like, "Well, what's the channel name on YouTube?" And I'm like, you don't
need to do that.
If you're into sports collecting, or you're into pottery or floral arrangements, you're not going to want to venture down.
Yeah,
Don't
it's not
come our
well.
direction.
I even the first time I went to Austin, which was when June 2nd, 2019.
You didn't know what it meant.
I was like,
He's like, "Look, it's
we're
everywhere."
riding in the car, and she's,
Hey, stitching. No.
I was pretty caught up in the fact that I was seeing this one face to face for the first time. We didn't catfish each other so bad that we didn't recognize each other in the airport. Like this.
I did. I was worried. I was like, "What if he, like, walks through the airport and goes and hugs this gorgeous lady down the street?"
Baby, you have such a remarkably beautiful face that I came off the tarmac, and I came into the airport, and I looked, and I knew immediately. You remember?
I was hiding kind of behind a wall. Not so much hiding. That's just where I was waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So when you walked by and started looking around or whatever, I was like, I wonder if he's going to recognize me. And he did.
Yeah.
And
I
I
mean,
realized I didn't know how tall you were.
I mean, I would have even said that if I had seen you and you didn't look anything like the pictures that you had sent me, but that you were still the conversation in that we had, and the way that I felt, and the connection, regardless of what you looked like, I knew would be enough.
Yeah.
I do. I knew it would be enough. You guys know there's a lot of people that on this platform that are various sizes, and they have, you know, they look different. And there's a lot of people that seem to forget because they project, like they fat shame people, or they talk about people's looks. And the ones that do that, I think, have a lot of self-conscious. They're self-conscious about themselves. And, you know, when you get to be our age, you know, in our 40s and 50s, you got to understand that a connection in a relationship, and the depth, has very, very little to do with physical attributes at all.
But it's a big help.
It helps. Yeah, it's
was
like the cherry on
impressed.
top.
I was like,
I mean, when I saw her face, I was like, she's every bit as beautiful as the face that I've seen. There aren't filters being used. She's gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get it.
And I was going to say, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, oh yeah, he's amazing looking. I was like, and let's get going. And then, I mean, you know.
I remember I was kissing
but
her.
check-in wasn't till 3.
Check-in wasn't till 3, but I remember I
And
told
you got
her.
there at like 10.
I told you, I was like, you said, what are you gonna do when you see me? I said, I'm gonna take your face with my hands. I'm gonna kiss you, and that's what I did. And I had to turn slightly.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I was excited like a teenager. I was like, oh my God. So I didn't want to, you know.
Yeah.
But so as we're walking to your car, I said to Mandi, because it wasn't awkward, but it was silent, and we're not really. I said, "Are you nervous?" And she said, "Nope." She said, "I'm not nervous at all. I know exactly what I want to do."
Yeah, and it's like we've said before. It's crazy because we already had these.
Hey, Melinda.
We had huge plans for the future, like crazy plans that most of them we've made happen. And I guess when you know, you know. And I feel like I'd never been that sure ever that I mean, that I could feel that way.
And I think,
you know what I mean?
Where I was in my life, I was coming out of a situation that I wouldn't say I was insecure, but the ground underneath me was shifting all the time. And I was really prepared. Mandi knows this. We talk about it all the time, that it took a little while before I realized that it wasn't too good to be true. You know, that this was going to be.
I think we both kind of felt that way.
But even a long time, even after we moved in, so that was June, July. So like 60 days from the time that we first.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
We were moving in together by August 1st. And Mandi will tell you, I took a long time before I unpacked my like overnight bag.
Yeah.
It stayed packed.
I was like, you can put your stuff in the drawers. They are yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm trying to pick Sawyer Brown up, but he won't let me.
He's being a jerk.
Speaking of, where did that bag go? Did I ditch it? Because I didn't.
There's a lot of things
that was
I
your
think,
bag.
Like my most of my tie-dyes, I don't know where those are.
I didn't do anything.
I don't know where my tie-dyes are.
I don't know where they are. I didn't.
They gotta be somewhere.
I don't know, but did you? Like all of the clothes that you had at that time, besides what was in the storage unit, was in that bag, right?
It was all in my car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so we had.
And
the
now I
storage
think
locker.
your closet's more crowded than my part. You have like.
Well, that's just because I'm messy. But remember, it was. I flew to Austin twice before I actually drove.
Yeah.
It was twice, and so it was like June 2nd. It was like June 20th, and then you came the first for July 4th, and it was we were together 3 or 4 times before one of us actually made a drive.
Yeah.
And then I was the one that.
And the plane tickets are out of Atlanta are super cheap, but he did.
They're more expensive
sometimes
now,
when
though.
I talk to DC's made that drive to see Negs quite a few times.
She's always on the road, though.
I'm
man.
like, oh no, I get it. It doesn't matter if it's 18 hours.
Not just that, but I mean, like every time you talk to her, she's like, "I'm driving here to do this, or I'm driving here to do that, or I'm going to see this concert."
I asked how many miles she had on her car, and she told me, and I can't remember how many it was. But yeah, she'll get in and drive.
And really, that's kind of the spirit of like a media person. If look, Joss.
Thank you, Jocelyn. You're so cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Joss.
I appreciate that.
This is for Joss.
That I sent her that little clip of that. They stole the song from. As dumb as that song is, it wasn't his to begin with.
Well, but
I need to turn the fan on.
so I was watching him and there's a song that he did with a different artist 4 years ago. So if you go into iTunes right now and you just type in, your fave ex-boyfriend, URFAVEX, I guess boyfriend. He's got and they have a little EP that's got like 6 songs on it where they use a but then you've got a song. I'll have to find it real quick. And it was a song that he did with somebody 4 years ago. And it never really did anything. But this dude, it was his track featuring your favorite ex-boyfriend. He re-released that on iTunes, and it's freaking fire, man. This dude was. I like it. Mandy's like, no, it's not fire. I like it. The dude. There's a reason why that stuff gets popular. Am I banging his shit in my car? No. But the first few times, Mandy will sit there. I'll be like laying in bed, and she's like, "What are you watching?" And I'm watching some podcast with this dude on it, or the history of him is like Port Aransas or something.
Yeah, he gets into these things, and he's kind of like me in the way that he watches everything there is to watch about it till he understands the entire huge story. That was when I got into that Death with Dignity. I had to know every angle to it. He does like the Island Boys, Jocelyn.
Yeah. I think that that their net worth, they made like $2 million. Now they're spending it all because they didn't have anything like that little rent home that they have that they don't have furnished. It's like $20,000 a month for them to live in it.
Yeah. They also stay in those influencers' house quite a bit, like those influencer. There was something that I was going to say.
I think I bought this song actually. It's so the song that's called "Hit That," but
why is it called "Hit That"? It's about sex.
Then they have one called "Pop That." I need to find this though. Hold on.
Last time you played it, the artist got the money, right? It said the artist was going to share in our revenues, and I was like,
so he's got one called "Toe Tag," and it's by Doozy Darko, and it was 4 years ago. And look, I bought it.
Did you really? At that time, you did?
Hold on.
He's got a huge iTunes collection.
But you can hear it even then. Listen. Can you hear it? So we're gonna have to share we're gonna have to share the 40 cents that we make in AdSense with this guy.
I bet you there is no one out of the 25 people that are watching, not one person knows who the hell that is except the people that have already heard you talk about it.
But I'm gonna let this, because I can't fast forward the song because it's on iTunes. But I'm gonna sit here for like a minute and a half because it's a 3-minute song, and about halfway through this song, I just like it. It's funky, and he's in the background doing whatever his little, and there's another guy rapping, and but it was 4 years ago, and this cat was like, I'm gonna re-release this song and make sure I say featuring, and
that's pretty.
This freaking North Georgia country boy.
Good. Yeah,
this North Georgia country boy spent $1.29 to buy it.
He did. He spent $1.29 on it, and if it was 4 years ago, that was when we were.
There it is. Listen.
Well, that's better than the other one. Oh my God. If we renew our vows, let's have this at the wedding time. There you go. He does. And what's funny is he's got different things that make him like music and sports and me and our animals. Those are things that are guaranteed if he's involved with it, in it, on it, whatever. Yeah. He's got like good like energy or whatever. And I'm not in a bad mood very often, am I?
No.
Not really. I'm not like I was traditionally. Not like before in my previous life.
Because I think like if Sam didn't get pissed off at us for getting together and do whatever she did and flip out, because we were both friends with her, it would still be hard for you to do the boardroom now in the position that you are now. That
yeah,
you're in.
Absolutely. Paula just said she had to go strike Moonbear real quick because she doxed her address. Did she really? She doxed your address? How did she do it? Like, she just read the whole thing out?
I see, now Moonbear to me doesn't seem like someone that's going to lose her mind. I mean, but she does. I mean, she's already been like out running around
Yes,
on her husband while they were on a break, and then she puts him on the live stream, says, tell them we were on a break. I'd be like, bitch,
I'm not telling them nothing.
trust me, dude, I get it. I get what it's like.
She thinks it's okay to post on a live stream her post showing her house. She just decided to screen share everything on her probably social media, which had pictures and the exact address of my home. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I know it's annoying that I keep taking my hair down, but that is hurting my head.
What
when
is?
I want to put it up. This ponytail holder has rubber on it.
Okay. You want to pull your hair?
These people that have like facilitated and promoted this kind of crazy spiral that's gone on with Robin, like, I feel like they
get in a lot of trouble.
Just like we've said before, they need to stop using her mental illness to act out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean,
we say that about a bunch of people.
People will. This happens a lot. They'll claim to be advocates for mental health awareness or mental illness while they're exploiting someone with mental illness. It happens all the time.
And what's interesting is no matter what angle people think, like, as far as like saying, well, the hate train for certain people that's exploiting their mental illness, I would more say the people that are promoting and encouraging them acting out are contributing to that.
There are things that are going on, and I never would be the one to say that. Like, there's actions being taken here and there, and that are sticking. I never thought I'd see the day, really, but I guess for some people they get so bad, the communications, people threaten so bad that a judge just goes, I have to sign this, knowing nothing else.
I think so. And then somehow, our little Trash Panda got involved trying to say there was something that had to do with her, and it's like, poor thing, she wants to be so bad, wants to be in the middle of some fuck shit, and she's that's another one. Leave her alone. Leave her completely alone.
Yeah,
she's
leave her
not
alone.
You, but
she is not.
Yes.
She has shown that she gets too emo too quick with things, and you've got to be able to dish it and take it and dish it and take it, and she just doesn't. She just, I don't know. I never had a problem with her, even when she was doing whatever she was saying and doing, and then she'll just start taking shots at me. It's like, well, okay.
But you don't really have a problem with many
people. I don't.
Like,
it's not like I have. I don't have a problem. It's.
But we take issue with people that like lash out and hurt our friends, and I don't. At the end of the day, I don't care if anybody likes who our good friends are, or they don't like who our good friends are, or my personal friends, or his whatever it is. It's we don't choose it based on popularity or what. I'm gonna leave it be on that one.
I know what you meant, though.
I'm gonna leave it be.
Just leave it be.
I'm like we look like we're like possessed with the red light. It's kind of cool, but the pink light like gives it like a little thing. Yes. Tomorrow's Friday. Sean's off this weekend. Right?
Yes.
Or have they already taken it back?
No, they haven't taken it back. I won't let them. But I know that Mandi has said that there's a seminar on gaslighting.
It's interactive.
I'm gonna read a little bit of this though. Online, it's a more dangerous form of emotional abuse. Warning signs of gaslighting: intermittent positive reinforcement, breadcrumbing, slow spiral into instability.
What is breadcrumbing?
Like giving you a little bit of, like giving you just enough, compliments. Like this is called breadcrumbing. Compulsive lying with malicious intent, Jekyll and Hyde personality. There's all this stuff. Now, you can either
I think it applies to all of us at one time or another. But if it's constantly, if it's a constant thing, what if we did this seminar, like, is it online?
Yeah, so in this one here, it's like, look, narcissists The Clinical Guide to Treating Adult Children of Narcissists.
What I would like to not, hey, Kaki, Leah's on the government watch. I'm sure she is. But you guys don't, she probably, I was going to say, don't forget that she is a welder, right? She is a welder.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Panda. She's a welder.
Yes. And a model.
Of all of the things.
And a model.
And she's a model.
And is
Hold on. So
connected
she really,
to a biker
it says,
gang or something like that.
Panda is on the government watch list. Fact. That says enough. And it says she really is. I could see that.
Well,
I
mean,
could see her saying a bunch of dumb shit that got her on it.
And, the government probably just needs good welders. And they just want to make sure that, before they hire them to weld.
The one habit the one thing that we learn pretty consistently when someone like that kind of goes off the deep end and is that when what did we say? We no longer rehabilitate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it bites us in the ass every single time.
Right,
like, look,
right.
People can be however they want to be. I don't really care.
They can. And people
but if you're super off the chain,
we just kind of let you be off the chain. But it seems like if you don't coddle the people that are off the chain, they'll eventually turn on you. But what I was saying, you can pay $219 for this seminar, or you could just tune into drama community stuff.
Paula, she has left those voice messages on my Instagram like in the past. I don't think I have right now. I don't think she can. Like, I don't think any of her things, but she would leave them like all night and be like, "You better fucking call me." And I was like, I don't even.
Unlike Katie, who just left you one big long 3-minute one night.
Huh?
You're talking about you get voicemails where you get the one long one from Katie.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's gone down in the history book as the and the thing is I probably was just falling asleep, but when you worked at night at the grocery store, I didn't sleep real well.
Right. And it was late too.
Yeah. It was 3:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was funny. Anyway, back to what we were talking about, because we said we were going to talk about the stuff that we wanted to talk about.
And did we?
Some of it, but I feel like we forgot some of it.
Yeah, well, there's other parts that kind of that I wanted to throw in there, tonight. But I don't want to be on one with every single person. It's like there's a couple other people that I wanted to talk about, but it doesn't have to happen.
No,
it doesn't.
It doesn't have to happen. The main thing is that we get back on our schedule and have something to talk about. And tonight it seems to be the fact that the whole community at large is once again going through some changes. Mm-hmm. Does that sound like super because that's a bunch of, I had to think of that off the top of my head. How is that?
It's a good one. Hold on, let me see something here.
What are you going to see?
I'm going to go to this channel.
Is Father's Day this weekend?
It's the 18th.
What is this weekend?
No, this weekend is going to be like the 11th.
Okay, so it's not this weekend.
No.
I know. I'm like, what you got? There's that guy.
Yeah. See, look, 2 months ago he was getting big views.
Yeah, it's like a in style like that. I'm tired of the word gaslighting. I get what it is, but it's kind of an in.
I'm gonna say
in style word.
The people that use the word gaslighting here on YouTube, most of them, not all of them, but if they're using the term gaslighting a lot, they're probably doing it themselves. And that's not everybody, but
I would.
When you look at drama community people that accuse of gaslighting, there's a lot of it going on themselves. It's very ironic to me.
Listen, I'm gonna read it, you guys. Okay, I pulled up the tweet.
Okay.
So there was a tweet made earlier because of the whole where I had put wait for it, and then I told y'all about that, and someone ran with it. So the tweet was, Sam put, "You ain't gonna do shit to nobody. Also, where are all your friends?" What is this Mandith? What is that? Is that just what she calls me? Mandith? Mandith? Yeah. Are you going to help your BFF avoid a whole ass eviction before next Friday or what? So at first I was trying to figure out who the hell she was talking about. And then I was like, let me ask Arabia, because that seems to be the one that she really has a problem with me being friends with. And so I asked her, and then she replied, and then she asked me to put her full reply in to a tweet. And since I have Twitter Blue, I can post unlimited number of characters, but you have to click on a link to get it.
Like
So
what's that? Is that so? When I see like $8 come out, that's for that.
I think, is it $8?
It's $8.
Okay, so this was their response. And for those of you who don't know, Arabia was Sam's friend for 30 years, something like that. And then Sam fucked her over like she fucks everybody over. Not only did she fuck her over, but she, she fucked her over like she does everybody. So this was the response. Check again in a few days. That court date is going to be dismissed, just like all her criminal charges were against me. Make sure she understands what she's reading before she reads too far into it. He filed an eviction because I moved out and did not complete my lease, not because I still live there and have nowhere to go and I'm being put out for not paying my rent. There is a difference between an eviction and being being filed because you didn't live out your lease somewhere and being filed because you didn't pay rent. Also, tell your BFF and tell your BFF has already moved out and the eviction is not for not completing. That one, I think it overlapped. It says, I moved in with my girlfriend and broke my lease. That's why it was filed. Girlfriend is a cutie. Let me say, a very, very, very a cutie. Bring up the fact that just 2 months ago she said I was completely homeless. So how can I be homeless if I was living somewhere and got an eviction because I moved and didn't complete the last few months of the lease? And let her know my lease, not because I didn't pay my rent. Some of it didn't pay straight, but didn't complete my lease, not because I didn't pay my rent, and those are not the same. So, but this is the most ironic part of it, of Sam wanting to point out evictions and stuff. Sam got evicted for not paying on a house she once owned.
Yeah, I know.
The house that she got that was completely paid off, she sold and then turned around and rented it back and then didn't pay the rent.
And then got kicked out of it.
So I wouldn't worry about what Arabia's doing.
No. And the thing is that it just goes to show how erratic and how scattered and how off point she is right now. Mm-hmm. Arabia has nothing to do with anything that's going on. Mm-hmm. You know, really.
She could give a shit less.
Right. She has nothing to do with any of it.
She's living life. She's not sitting in her house with her squatting in a house where the person doesn't want her there anymore.
Or the person doesn't know how to get rid of them. And they, I said it before earlier on, the sound bites that I've heard, they're like, who listen to this? And it's like Sam, I don't know if it's Sam on panel and Yaba chirping in or Yaba's. I don't think that Sam chirps in on Yaba's stuff. But they sound
like on Twitter?
Like, yeah, there were sound bites that people were playing of them.
Okay.
And they're just yelling back and forth at each other about that.
Yeah.
They're just yelling back and forth. She's talking about something, and then you hear the other one yelling in the background. And I'd never heard that. It's like they're
used to be calm, cool, and collected.
Now they're like feeding. They're like way manic, just yelling back, bouncing off each other. Yeah. And it's I've never known that too. But by the same token, she still talks about me pretty often. It's the one thing. And I don't what would resolve that, because I know when you review our stuff, nobody gives a shit about what we're talking about. Nobody cares about our chickens. So how does she get through a whole review without sounding ridiculous? I think there's a lot of people that are watching that because it's ridiculous. Look, there's a few people that have fallen off when she says, "Where are your friends?" You got a couple ride or dies that I haven't seen in a minute. But here's the thing, Mandi is forever relevant because of stitching. Something. we can have 100 people in the chat or 20 people in the chat or whatever in the chat. Whatever Mandi talks about or says, people give it great power. They're always talking about Mandi. Sam's talking about Mandi. Every once in a while, Randy brings up Mandi. It's like, why? It's like, why? If we're so boring and there's nobody watching us, why bring it up?
Yeah.
Why blame? There's a lot of stuff that's happening to people that they're blaming Mandi for, like giving out all kinds of information for things. And it's like, how about just admitting to the fact that the things that you've done to other people are noticed, are noticed by Mandi. Just doesn't call up random people and just become friends with them and give them information. Like, these people are motivated to stream. Tragic is motivated. Clara is motivated. People are motivated. Callie is motivated. Not by Mandi, but because of the actions that Sam and Yaba have done, their words, the things that they have done. But somehow it keeps coming back to like it's your fault.
Right.
That's the funny thing. It's your fault.
Everything's my fault. Hey, Nelson. Yeah, everything is. Well, I think that I'm completely and totally in love and happy, but I think beyond that, I'm really boring. I think that the people that watch us just to watch us talk about whatever, like the person that said they're here for the chickens and whatever, but I think that as far as, and I'm not trying to be me as a person, I think I'm pretty boring to talk about.
Depends on what you're doing. But
yeah, if I was throwing fits and you and I were still fast and furious going through the divorce, whatever, I could see that. But it's just on a day-to-day basis. I don't know why anyone who doesn't like me
would even keep mentioning you.
Will keep, watching. Like, I don't understand. If you don't like someone, why do you?
It's almost like they have to every once in a while remind people like how bad you are or how much of a snake you are. It's like, look, Sean and Mandi are live right now with 30 people. I mean, with 30 people of the people that like to watch us. How threatening can that be?
That's what I'm saying.
How bad can we be?
I think that there is, with probably a lot of the relationships in her life, there's been a whole lot of unresolved things where they just kind of ended. And I think this is the way that she kind of deals with it over time, is to just try to pick apart the person for being. Maybe,
yeah. There was something that's been very clear, and it doesn't really matter what side of it you're on. When you and I got together, it was some kind of devastating, and maybe that's not the right word, but it was
You love the chicken.
It was a blow, man. It was like, for some reason, it wasn't okay, and to the point that she had to come for both of us. She's over there trying to convince people that she and I were never friends, like we were never on the same side of things or whatever.
You were going to take her and her family to dinner,
right? Yeah, when I was up at my daughter's house, they were in Cincinnati for an event, and I was like, hey, I'll take y'all to dinner.
And then she just stood you up, right?
No. She said, well, she might have, but she was seeing her mom or something like that. I mean, I'm really not like a family member that she hadn't seen in a while, and she had some emotion about it. I don't know if it was her mom or whatever. It doesn't really matter, It doesn't matter. But she was like, no, and the thing about it is, it's like changing history. Sleeping dogs can lie if you let them.
Thank you.
Sleeping dogs can lie if you let them. But people understand what the past was. They understand that the boardroom existed.
Yeah.
And that you guys did the boardroom. They know they'd see me on panel with her, and it's just odd. It's like, why does it matter if we were friends or not? Why do you have to convince people that we were?
It's where
because people know. People know.
It's just where she's at in her spiral, I guess.
I mean, if you went all through the DC to all the OGs and you said, just without any other context, with no context whatsoever, and said, was Sean and Sam, were they friends? People would go, yeah, they were. Mm-hmm. They were. Were you and Mandi friends? Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
But then if you go, why aren't you anymore? That's where the stories would change. Most people know it's when you and I got together. But they're over there, for whatever reason, they've got so much on their plate and so many people that have got their eyes set on them, but somehow it's still you. Yeah. It still has to be about her. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird.
And you, for those of you who didn't know, at separate times, I was also friends with Yava. We had an ongoing communication.
I was never friends with
No,
you.
no,
I
yeah,
know you, but yeah.
But like for a period of time, then she said, I can't fuck with you because you fuck with Sam. And you know her big, I don't fuck with people who fuck with people I don't fuck with.
Right.
And that's kind of where that ended. So I was like, okay. And I'm like, so I chose Sam. I was like, okay, well, you know, Sam and I had made up at that time, and I chose to do just like I do with other people, that you can't tell me who I can't be friends with because you don't like them. And so that was how that went down. So at different times, right?
Sean wants it. Shut up, Joss.
I'm obviously been friends with Sean, right?
Yeah.
When we're talking about friends in the community. I was friends with Katie. I was friends with Sam. I was friends with Yaba. I'm not talking about like my friends, like I'm telling you the ones that I'm no longer friends with.
Let me make that very clear.
So I've got issues, clearly. But what I don't do is I don't throw people out like trash.
Well, my thing is like, it's like I have a problem. It could be there'd be somebody, there is just something that if you're, I don't know. We've seen it over and over with different scenarios throughout the years that everyone kind of leans over and sees what ATX is doing and sees who she's fucking with or who she's on panel with, and they don't like it. And it doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter if it's Life Perplexed or if it's DC Media Girl or
you mean when
whoever
I'm on
it
their
is.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah. And I don't think that people realize that when I talk to people that I may legit have met through this situation, whether it's Arabia or Clara or whoever I'm talking to, Paula or whoever, it's most of the time not about YouTube. Has nothing to do with YouTube. We talk about, you know, putting boutiques in Old Town, you know what I mean, like in what a image I have if I were to ever, because you know now these like Old Town downtowns in different cities, they're, you know, for a while they were able to have these little mom and pop things. When COVID came, it kind of wiped it out.
Yeah.
So people are buying these spaces, these storefronts.
There's little parts
for next
of town
to
that,
nothing.
Yep.
And we have one near here, Cleveland, and their entire old downtown is rented or bought by
Cleveland, Georgia. We're talking
about.
Oh
yeah. Are bought by people with little clothing boutiques and things like that. The secret to those little clothing boutiques, I'm going to tell you, the reason that you can't, if you don't know, if you go in and you see things and they're a little pricey, but you like it and you look at the tag and you can't figure out what brand name it is, or you do a search and you can't find it, it's because, and this is the American way, they buy those clothes in a wholesale bunch and it's marked up considerably, but what it caters to is the kind of you know, ladies and gentlemen that just love browsing during the day. They don't care what, if they like something, they're not too concerned about what it's cost. It's the traditional mom and pop store mentality where if you want it bad enough, open it, set it up, and then and people are starting to understand the value in that. And they're doing the upstairs of these downtowns, they are renting them out. And so they're turning a
brick and mortar, I call it the brick and mortar business, that like a storefront, like a baseball card shop or whatever. I help people who, a lot of them have closed those down and they work out of home just because of the, you know, the internet age. I know the ones that come in that sell merchandise online, you know, they're and show them how to make, like if they sell 30 pieces of merchandise or whatever, instead of having a scan in for each one for their statuses, they can create one sheet that has their whole inventory on it. And if I scan the sheet in, it encompasses every piece that they're selling. So like if you have 8 pieces of eBay or whatever, it's not, but when you, to get business going real successful, and if you're starting to do like 30 pieces a day, you're starting to make a little bit of money.
The one that you pick up from
every day.
Yeah. The one they have a shabby chic sort of eye is what they so they look on these sites where things are wholesale, whether it's little knickknacks or reason like whatever, and it's the shabby chic, and they order them, and she's very successful because she has an eye for that. That would be like something that I would open, where it was like a shabby chic vintage sort of boutique where it's very kind of a whitewashed colors and things like that, and that's what's up.
And she started,
but you can't do it if you have to turn a major profit fast.
This lady started, and she was older. I mean, she's in her 50s when she started it, in like her mid 50s, and she had a little boutique in Dahlonega, and but she started a social media, a media presence, and a lot of people. She started it on Facebook. It took off, and now YouTube. And there's been people that her husband has talked to me about YouTube and stuff like that. It used to be a family where he worked, and to support the family. He had to quit to help her. They have over a million over 1 million on Facebook, and they're close to 1 million on YouTube. And she took that brick and mortar shop, and she now bought 1/3 of a business park, like all the suites. She bought like 5 suites all in a row.
Just stock.
And the back of it is just inventory and the place where they put all the product together.
And it started with just an idea.
Yep, that's all it is.
It started with an idea. I would love, when I have this image of like an old town, like it would be cool to do have a rescue, right? Because some of these places still have the store shut front windows where they used to have puppies. We don't sell animals anymore. Well, not for the most part. Pet stores they do still have a few in Georgia, but for the most part, they're gone. But wouldn't it be adorable to have like a storefront that was like a 50s pet shop, but it was rescue puppies in the window? You know what I mean? Like things like that. But it starts with the vision. I was thinking if Sean had a baseball card shop and a hobby shop, and I would be like, well, let me help you get it organized. And you'd be like, okay, and I'll help you decorate it. And then I'd start doing it, and you would be like, none of this is important. Yes.
I went ahead.
Okay.
I went ahead and I pinned your comment stitching because it was, there must be a word in there like that we have on the filter.
But it won't even let us.
It won't. It just says another.
It's just someone. I think it.
But I went ahead and pinned it because
it's weird. I don't know what to do about the fact that our. Do you know you guys? I've had on both channels. I have memberships approved to do memberships, and then we've never done them or whatever. But every time I go in and look, every once in a while, and with the emojis that I put in there are there. But I'm like, I can't. What would I anyway.
That was my deal with.
But when she said that about Patreon, it made me remember.
The thing with memberships is it's hard. You see the people that are in the drama community that have memberships, and in my opinion, this is just my opinion. It is hard sometimes to. I mean, if someone gives you $10 a month, you owe them content.
Yeah, you need to go live.
You owe them content, and I don't want that pressure on us right now, because there's too much fuck shit going on. We would rather do what we're doing and then support our friends that are in the fuck shit.
I remembered what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Zion.
Oh, Zion.
Did y'all see my other tweet? Zion plays for the Pelicans?
Yeah.
Basketball.
Zion Williamson.
He barely plays because he's always hurt. But Lord, read what his. Hold on, y'all. Do y'all know who he is? First of all, I mean, he is like the wonder prodigy that hit the scene right when COVID.
He's always hurt. He only gets to play about 20 games a year, and they still extended him $85 million because they said he's worth it.
So Mariah Mills is his
one of them,
one of his girlfriends, and she
soon to be baby mama,
and that's Zion. And this is the one though that he admits that he's with.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so it says, I let you spit in my mouth last week when we blank. You could have told me you had another blank pregnant. How was that gonna work? Moving us both to New Orleans. You think I would have found out and tagged him? And that is her.
So basically, that's one of his girlfriends.
So
He's got two future baby mamas. That's the bottom line.
And she tweeted him out. Like, you know that his agent was like,
dude.
Because the thing is when you think about these celebrities and stuff, we're all only human. So they get pissed off because some shit like that goes down, just like we do in the drama community. And they're impulsive and they go and they put it out there. And then
basically,
once it hits, it's there.
This was a girl that didn't know this guy's lifestyle.
So he's got 2 girlfriends with babies in their tummies. He's gonna be paying.
Right. And he apparently was trying to move both of them in and get a place, both of them. I got your place. Get them both like apartments or whatever.
It reminds me
of New Orleans. First of all, most of these athletes would probably tell you only one per city. You know, like they go all over the place. But he was going to move them both to New Orleans.
Reminds me of that movie Mickey and Maude. Did you ever see that with Dudley Moore?
Yeah.
He knocked up 2 women.
And so this one obviously didn't realize, thought that she was the only one. It's like, you know, who are you? My name is such and such. Yeah, but I'm Zion Williams' girlfriend. And probably somebody went, well, one of them. Well, what's that mean? Well, he was, you know. And
what is I let you spit in my mouth?
I
didn't read that part the first time. I let you spit in my mouth last week.
I let you spit in my mouth last week when you could have told me. Yeah, something like that. I let you spit in my mouth.
Oh, it's like it's like a term for
right.
Why didn't spit in my mouth? So it's just code for sex.
Yeah, it's code for.
Have you ever heard that? That analogy, spit in my mouth?
No, I had never have, but it's pretty obvious if you think about it.
Use it tomorrow at work, you guys, and see if anybody knows what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
Spit in my mouth.
Yeah, don't walk up to somebody that, you know, you've had relations with. It says, remember when I let you spit in my mouth?
When you hear like the spit in my
First of
mouth,
all, don't talk about that out here. You know,
that's interesting. I didn't know that's what that meant.
Yeah.
But he is in a predicament.
He is.
And he's gonna have to pay a whole lot of money.
So there's another guy though, and this is why, because there's a quarterback named Jimmy Garoppolo. He's now the Raiders quarterback. And supposedly he's been juggling a couple of them. And so they're making the comparisons between the two of those guys.
Mandi is for patterns. Add monthly ones, maybe. Yes, I'm thinking about that. Like doing.
See, that would be something that I would encourage you to do with because your content with. I've watched, you know, when I can lean in when I'm at work and you do it's completely different than what we do.
Yeah.
You know, and.
Yeah, there's a couple of things in the works, and we'll see like how it turns out. But I was today I was thinking when I was given because when I go out for the morning, the whole morning or the first part of the afternoon, when I get back, it's like feeding and watering chickens, and so it's like I'm like when I try to visualize like a job and how that would work, it would not be as easy as it was before.
Right. I know.
There you go. But I would love to have, we call it stupid money. Like if you have stupid money, which means that you have enough that you're giving, you know, hundreds of thousands to charities and, you know, whatever, or then to open a boutique and you weren't really concerned about whether it turned a huge profit. Right. That's what I think you would have to have.
Like something to keep you busy because that's what you like to do with your time.
I would love. Can you imagine if you put together a baseball card shop and the whole vision was yours, no matter what the vision of how you. But you would just your men are very you'd be like, yeah, I just want lots of baseball cards and posters.
That's what I do.
And I would be why don't we do green carpet and do bases and have the bases on the floor in the store? And you're like, no.
Well, the thing for me is
I would decoupage Sports Illustrated.
The endorphin release of opening baseball cards and getting the cards. I mean, there was a time, because I needed some money, when I sold some cards a long time ago.
Not with me.
Not with her. Let him. And they were 1956 Topps cards that were worth 5 or 6 times what I sold them for now. But it just is what it is.
But you were told you needed to step up and sell some cards.
But the thing is that I've got all kinds of stuff in there that I don't really like the player. I don't really care for the team, and I could I could sell those, and then, the bit of money that I get from them, just keep that in my eBay thing and see where it goes. I'm just like, you see it back there. I need to get back there and sort the stuff. I got a lot of good stuff back there.
Yeah, that green thing that it didn't end up working the way I wanted it to, we can put that in there, and we can put a home base. No, I'm just kidding. But I did get
a home base. You mean a home plate? A home plate.
Yeah.
It's first, second, and third base, but it's home plate.
Tractor Supply has rolls of that AstroTurf stuff, and I cut it yesterday to fit in these baskets that I was going to separate the babies into, and it didn't work. I was thinking that if you rinse it every day, that you like wash it off every day, it would work. You have to use bedding. There's you can't just use the little. It was cute though. They were in with their little houses and their little things or whatever. They're getting big.
Like I looked into our account, and I'm like, and then I come home and I see what she did. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's
pretty nifty. It's just all a work in progress. But I have a vision. I have a vision for where we're taking a hatchery. It's going to be cool. It's going to be lots of like Instagram clips and TikTok clips, like with them playing in like the nursery, kind of not a nursery, but just a cute setup and whatever. You'll like it. We have a TikTok for the animals I'm going to start uploading. Jocelyn even shared something. It's Curly KIRLEY _coop KOOP on TikTok, and I'm going to start putting the things of the animals and things like that. Today we came home tonight, and how many animals? There was 2 chickens, a stray cat, Eleanor.
Yep. So 3 chickens, two cats, and a dog. I mean, and
I have the picture. I'll post it later. Look on Twitter. And they're just waiting there, and I pull up because we went and grabbed dinner, and then we had, he had to get his car from work and follow me home. And I pull up, and there's Eleanor, which whatever, yeah, that's our cat, our indoor-outdoor cat. There's 2 chickens waiting for their cherry tomatoes for the evening. There's the stray cat, which we now are responsible for, who thinks that he's just part of the clan. He just stays outside. But he is part of the all of us or whatever. And it was so cute because, and then so Sawyer jumps out of the car, and he's kind of like, I've had a long day. I know. And he wants to just walk past him.
I'm very tired.
And it was crazy. Yeah. It's a pretty sweet life. It's I have to say, it's like, it's nice.
That was me. I mean, a lot of people that watched YouTube, they know me from the stuff that they've seen on YouTube, but I mean, a man is a man when he can, and part of man being a man is going out and providing for his family and for his house, to me. We could have built a channel and been doing fuck shit every night. I don't think it would have been as fulfilling to me as doing what I do now.
Yeah.
Well,
YouTube. You know everyone.
In town, yeah. I mean, I'm telling you,
and it's funny.
3 years ago when we started ATX Tomahawk, I would have been like really freaked out to be sitting doing a live stream with 25 people in the chat. It would have bothered me. But I have reassessed.
Why? Oh, because you wanted to be more?
It was right, because
but
I wasn't.
I'm like, 25 people are watching us talk about bullshit.
Right.
And I love it. But I get what you're saying.
I had Mandi in my life, and she's my everything. But at that particular moment,
that was your
I had been, there had been so much of my life in the last few years before that were validated by how many people watched and what people said, and
that's interesting.
On the internet and on YouTube. And it's I love y'all. I love doing this with y'all. But making this woman happy and making my family happy is that's replaced. Mandi's taught me to figure out what makes me get out of bed every morning, and I'm doing that. And then we just kind of support our friends that are on YouTube, and we are. And
it's a pretty cool life.
It's very, very different 3 years ago for me on YouTube than it is right now. And that's really, you know, that's
Remember
really how
when
it
we
is.
got together and I told you my daughter about it? Oh,
Can-
hold on.
read
You
that.
remember when everything was fast and crazy when we first got
good.
together, and didn't we both deactivate our Twitter for like a week?
Something like, yeah, and we weren't even
Like a
living
week.
together yet.
Yeah.
Because there were so many times when we were looking at what was going on,
Well, it
and
was,
we
it was
both
over-
had to do it.
Yep.
There was times where I had to look at Mandy and
Yes.
said, this here is not real.
Are you going? You keep
Yeah,
going into it when you set it
now
down.
you gotta
This, right?
right. And then you
But
can
what
do-
I was gonna say, okay, go ahead. I told my daughter.
you
about
know,
your
this
cat
was
and
we were
your
getting
things
so
like this. Oh, Melinda.
so emotional about what was being said and what was being projected to us.
I agree.
And you know, Mandy's had this. He pulled me aside and said, "Sean, I'm here. I'm right here. It's. I'm not Mrs. ATX. I'm Mandy."
That we did say that in the beginning. Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, but we got." But then she was like, "No." And then there was times where I've had to say, you know, I'm just Tomahawk Sean. That was you met Tomahawk Sean, you know, and on the internet and this and that. But you're with Sean, and you know, when we do this, you know, it's us. It's our whole world.
Because when we turn it off, other
Yeah.
than my friends that I've made here on like personally or whatever, we turn it off and I'm like, okay, and then it's like we go off. It's not like we go, okay, that's it. But we both have our.
We kind of do. Sometimes it depends on what's going on. And
No, but I mean, like we know we have a routine. It's time to
Right.
let Sawyer out the last time, and then we go in there and lay down and watch sports or do.
I mean,
whatever.
when I do come in from work, we say hello and all that, and we're eating dinner, and
Quality of
and she
life.
does fill me in on the fuck shit. She does. Oh, did you this happen and that happened? And I'll be like, yeah, I saw something on Twitter, blah blah blah. But it's just different, you know.
We're usually talking about the chickens.
Yeah.
I'll be like, come look at them with me.
Yeah, I know.
And they're
And I
you
love
got them
it.
all up.
I love it. Yeah.
We have a
I do
little
it real
silver
quick.
one.
I can do it quick.
I know
now,
we
so.
have a silver rooster that one of his coworkers is taking, and I named it Phoenix but I was like, tell him it's spelled like stripper Phoenix, like Phenix. And I was like, not like PHO, and he was like, but he would not know what you were talking about, would he? If you said it's spelled like the Phoenix stripper, because it's not. I don't know if it's a stripper or not, but it seems like that's how they'd spell it.
Well, or it would be.
Well, his other one was named Petey.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna name this one so he doesn't have a Petey.
Yeah.
It's Phoenix.
Phoenix. Feenix.
Something like that.
Phoenix.
Like River Phoenix.
It's
But anyway,
Phoenix, and then there's would be another one. It'd be Phonix,
we have a couple of
and then Phinix.
we have a couple of no, that's a good question though, Jocelyn. So no. So chickens, I guess, traditionally stop laying eggs.
I thought when she said
About
eating
two-
the chickens, I thought when it said dark,
Oh.
I thought it was going to be like dark meat.
No, but
it's just
like
dark
so
flesh.
I like some people when they chickens quit laying, they do eat them.
Yeah. We
And
won't
I'm
do
not
that.
against that, but we don't even like. This is what's funny is we have a book about chicken health, and it says if you've got problems with something going through your flock where they're dying, consider doing a postmortem. And then there's an entire
doing
chapter
an
on how to
autopsy or
do it.
something.
And I was like, oh, I could never do that. And I'm
No.
like, but that's interesting because on Thanksgiving we can cut an entire raw turkey apart,
Right.
or do whatever. But it's like I don't think I could do it. I would take it to North Georgia so they could train on how to look at things. But look, he's like, get off, it's bedtime.
It's like it's 9.
We hear you, Scout. So tomorrow's Friday. We will be back tomorrow, and he's off this weekend. And I'm gonna jot some shit down to talk about tomorrow. But those of you, I think that it's pretty cool that people just sit here to watch us bullshit.
It's true. It's
And
like
if you think it's too boring to review, then find something else to review.
People will. I mean, but there'll be people that are critical and say, well, I remember when you guys could put 200 in the chat, what happened? And it's like, well, and I would say to those people that are putting, 2 or 300 people in their chat, and it's not everybody, but the people that are critical, it's like you got 300 people in your chat because you're doing fuck shit. They're here for the drama. They're here for it.
Yeah.
They don't all like you. They don't all hate you, but they want the drama. And we do that sometimes, but we don't have to do it. all the
No.
time. No.
But sometimes when we get on one, then it vibes to drag people. And then sometimes we're kind of calm and serene, so we try to bring it up, and then we don't like go for it. But if we did it like within 20 minutes of you getting home from work,
we are we're very good about checking ourselves before we turn the camera on. We used to not be. We'd be on one, we'd be all spun up in Texas, we'd go live, and people liked it. But you know, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. If when I first walked through the door, she really worked up about something, and we hit go, we would sound like Sam and Yaba sound.
And if
they'd be yelling back and forth at each other about stuff.
When you get home, I'm usually finishing up dinner, and if we flipped it on while I was finishing up dinner and we streamed, you'd be able to hear all of the good stuff. But Sean gets naked pretty quick after he gets home because he just likes to be naked.
So I like to keep my socks on and maybe like a wristband. But other than that, I mean, it's my house. There's no there's no kids running around here, so you know.
Exactly. Girls take their bras off, right?
I mean, Mandi will walk by me and I'll be like, "Nice tits, girl," you know, or something like that, you know. But
he'll say, "Yeah, you do."
Porn star status, right?
He's like, "Am I allowed to?" And I'm like, "Yes." And you're like, "Sweet."
I mean, we get done like we'll be like
we'll
be together. We'll be together in bed, and then afterwards, I'm like, I'm not going to say anything gross. I'll be like, we cannot unleash this on the world. we cannot let anybody know that this.
Anyways, you guys,
happens here because it would just change the paradigm of all mankind. We just keep this to ourselves. This is our secret.
Yeah.
See, that wasn't bad, was it?
No, it was beautiful. Yeah, no problem. You guys have a good night. He's really not kidding either. But when we were joking around saying we would never do an OnlyFans because you guys would get nothing done. You'd be then people started going, nobody wants to watch. I'm like, we were trolling.
We get done, and then Mandy's talking to me, and I'm just loading. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's right, Sean. You need about 5 to 10 minutes to get your thoughts together again." And it's true.
When your man can't get his thoughts together right after,
you done rocked his world.
You
done rocked his world.
Okay, y'all have a good night. Bye.